Hail and Mashes Adventures, it's me, the Spot King, and we dive into the world of Baldur's Gate 3. If you played Dungeons & Dragons or turn-based games before, then maybe all what's going on in this game is pretty familiar to you. But if you're really noob and don't like to read like me, then this guide will come in handy for you. It's totally beginner guide for Baldur's Gate 3. So let's start from the new game. When you press new game, you will get select difficulty. If you want easy game, go for Explorer. If you want hard game, guys, if you're watching this guide, you don't want hard game on your first playthrough, believe me. Go for balanced. But no matter, like if you want hard, Tactician is for you. And let's just start the game. Of course there will be no spoilers, so don't worry. I just skip cinematic and we are in the character creation screen. I got really comprehensive character creation guide, but we go over here very fast right now. So you got custom characters and original characters. So original is just characters with a backstory, and I recommend not to play them because that will spoiler you some stories, and you maybe want to actually go to pick custom or Dark Urge. Dark Urge is different character, it's not completely custom. It have its own backstory, it have cool and interesting features when you playing him. So nice to start your game will be Dark Urge or custom character. Let's just right now stick with custom. Then you pick your race. Race will determine different stats and different ability and different features. You can hover your mouse over these features to learn what they do. For example, different races will have different speed and additional different stuff. For example, we pick in Tiefling, we will get Dark Vision and Hellish Resistance when we pick in Tiefling. But some races, for example, Human, don't have any additional stuff. But when you pick in Tiefling, you will get sub-race. And when you pick in sub-race, different sub-races will get different stuff. For example, Mephistopheles Tiefling will get this cantrip. And what is the cantrip? Cantrip is magic. And we will talk about magic just in a moment. When you create a new character, you want to roleplay as him, so just think maybe you want to be actually Tiefling. But if you want strongest race for your strongest class, etc., you need to go and watch my guides. Okay, so you pick your sub-race, then you pick your class. If you're really noob and don't know how to play these games, I recommend to stick with Rogue or Ranger if you want to use bows and daggers. Bows for Ranger, daggers or bows for Rogue. If you want to fight with just big swords, maybe sword and shield, go for Fighter. Or Paladin is pretty okay for beginners too, but Fighter is just better for complete noobs. Or Barbarian, Barbarian is nice too. Don't forget you can change your body type, so if you want muscular Barbarian, it's totally possible. And if you want spellcaster class, you can pick Bard, you can pick Cleric, it will be melee spellcasting classes. You can pick Druid, it's a really versatile spellcaster class. But Wizard and Sorcerer, spellcasters too, but they all are too hard, so if you're a noob, just go for Warlock. In my opinion, it's like best class for beginners if you want to learn spellcaster class. So next, depending on what class you pick, you will get ability to pick your subclass. For example, Warlock got 3 subclasses, and when you pick in Fighter, you won't be able to pick any subclass, but you will unlock it later, so just don't worry. So we pick Warlock, we will be able to pick 2 cantrips, we can just click on them and they will be disappeared, and we can repick them from available cantrips. When you pick in any cantrip, all others that you won't pick right now will be forgotten. So you will be able only to cast 2 cantrips from the start of the game. Then you pick in your subclass, and subclass will unlock additional stuff. Maybe some class features, maybe subclass actions. For this guide, let's stick with the Fiend. With Dark One's Blessing, when you kill someone, you will get temporary hit points. Then let's go to spells. Again, spells, same rules. For most classes, when you pick any spells, you will forget all other spells. So when you pick in spells, it's actually nice to read them and decide what you want to play, or just stick with what I recommend. For Warlock it will be Hex of course, and maybe Armor of Agathis. Background, it will be role-playing pick or skills pick. Role-playing pick of course. Okay, I'm Tiefling Warlock. I sold my soul to the devil. So, who I was in the past? Maybe I was criminal and decided that I want more power. Yeah, why not to go for criminal, for example? So, whatever you pick will get you skills. And these skills are a lot of skills. And these skills will give you bonus to your rolls. In this game, you roll your dice whenever you try to do and achieve something. So, for example, you try to deceive someone. So, for deception checks, when you're trying to lie, cheat, manipulate something, you will get +5. And just for example, someone was going and asking, "Oh, you killed this tiefling," and you say no. So you will need to roll this dice, and you will have like difficulty check, for example 10. You roll d20, it means maximum is 20, and you roll for 5. If you don't have this skill, you will roll 5 and lose this check, and you won't be able to lie, and maybe you will go to the jail or something like this. But with +5 you will get 10, and if you need 10 and hit 10, you basically succeed this check, and he like accept that you tell him this lie. So don't forget, you can edit appearance, you can edit a lot of stuff, you can randomize appearance for some creepy and weird dudes. And then main part, abilities. If you just complete Newb, you can use recommended. Just use recommended and it will solve it for you. But it's really nice and important to understand how all of this stuff works. So, Strange. It gives you muscle and physical power. It affects effectiveness with melee weapons, so how hard you hit with them, and how far you can jump, how much you can carry, how much you can pick up. In this game you can pick up any item, throw any item. So with low strength you won't be able to pick up anything. With high strength you will be able to pick up small dwarfs and use them as weapon. Dexterity will affect effectiveness with ranged weapons and some finesse weapons. So finesse weapons will scale damage with dexterity instead of strength, and you will need to read on the weapons. Mostly it's daggers, rapiers and other stuff. And also dexterity affects your armor class. So what is armor class? Armor class is the stat that determines how harder you are to hit. Just like that. When someone attacks you, I will explain it just in a minute in the combat, you will roll your dice. I mean, he will roll his dice and he will roll, for example, d20. And if he rolls 10 and your armor class is 11, he will lose his roll and won't hit you, and vice versa. And you will get different stats with saving throws. So what to keep in mind? You see this number 8. Number 8 or number 9 doesn't do anything. So, I mean, it's kind of the same. So 8 will give you -1, 9 will give you -1. Let me just show you. So we got 8 base, so we got -1 to saving throws from strength. Then 9, nothing changed. But when you go up 2 points, you got +1. So you will, on 10, you will stay with 0. So 11, 0 again. 12, you will get +1. Every 2 points will get you +1 bonus to your throws. Same goes with dexterity. So your armor class will be -1 or 0 or +1, etc., etc. Constitution will give you constitution checks and hit points. So how much hit points your character will get every level. When you level up, you get additional hit points. So larger your constitution, more HP you will get when you level up. Intelligence and wisdom used mostly for saving throws on all characters if you don't have this primary ability stuff. For warlocks, primary ability is charisma. So you just go dump everything into charisma. And just like this, if you start building your character attributes, abilities. And charisma will determine whether you hit or not hit with your ability, how much damage you will do, etc., etc. So for clerics, druids and rangers, it will be wisdom. For wizards, it will be intelligence. For other classes, you will use it for saving throw most of the time, so you don't need a lot of this, but you need them. So when you play Mage Caster, you don't need a lot of strength, so it's nice to have a large constitution, for example, and maybe some dexterity for armor class. A little bit of secondary attributes, and just like that you finished with your attribute distribution. It's like basic and more balanced character than when you press and use recommended. And then you got +2 and +1 bonus, so go +2 to your main attribute and +1 to your secondary, for example, attribute, or attributes that you won't use anyway, like dexterity, because when you level up you will get ability to extend this. And don't forget, on this page you can change your skill proficiency, so as I told you, there's a lot of those. You can pick 2 when you play in most of the classes. I guess human got 1 more, and this will get you bonus to different stuff. So here you will see your proficiency with this combination of race, class, subclass, subrace, and other stuff, and background, of course, yeah. And then you can add to some stats. For example, you got intimidation +3 already, and you can just add +2 to intimidation, so you get +5 to intimidation, and maybe you want your character to get a little bit better investigation. So why not? Maybe you want to like hack trees, you know, speak with animals, then go for nature. If you want to learn more religion, stuff like this. It will be mostly for investigations, so you go to some like church, there's a lot of religion stuff over there, maybe some history stuff, you will read books, and if you got high points in this, most likely you will learn what this book's telling you. Let's name our character and go. We need a garden, so just randomize. Awesome. And we are in tutorial area. So here I will explain everything you need to know how to play this game. So let's start with basic controls. You see your character and you can press left click to go to your mouse position, just like that. Easy. You can control your camera with WASD, so you can just run away with your camera. But you can use Q and E to rotate, or press middle mouse button and rotate it with your mouse. Additionally, you can use your scroll to zoom in, zoom out. So just, you know, go and look on area that you are in. Just learn what's over here. And there's a lot of stuff. So there's ability to learn various stuff that you can interact with. Not every stuff. So for example, you can interact with this rune slate, yeah. But there's a lot of more stuff, and you can press Alt to see. So you see there's chest over there, there's onyx, and other stuff. So when you pressing Alt and keeping it pressed, you will get ability to learn what's nearby. Then you can just click wherever you like, and character will start to move over there. But if you need to learn what path he will take, then you press Shift, and you will see like, okay, he will go over there. Nice, perfect. So next, I recommend actually to go and press an Escape, go to Options, go to Keybinds, and in Keybinds I recommend to find Center Camera on Character. Press on the secondary row and press space. Then click Apply and click No. This means that space assigned to different stuff and you don't want them to be deleted. So just do you want to remove previous bindings? No. Okay, so what it does. When you exploring, you, for example, coming into new room, for example, this room, and you want to see what's going on here. Okay, I see some, like, octopus, I see some enemies, maybe, yeah, I see a lot of stuff. Okay, where is my character? You can double-click your portrait, or just press space. So, space will lock on your character. You can zoom in and control him like in third-person game, just like that. It's really easy and I guess more enjoyable when you play it like this. So next up, let's press I for inventory, and this is basically our character sheet. So it's our equipment. You can just drag this armor to equip it or unequip it, whatever you like. You see your items like kitchen, alchemy pouch, camp supply pack, other stuff, everything you can use. Here's your stats, your name, you can read everything, your features, that you learn. So for example, hellish resistance, you have resistance to fire damage, and resistance means you will take only half damage from fire stuff. You can check what's your skills, you can check what's your detailed use, so your hit points, armor class over here, and as you can see we got 11 armor from our armor and +2 from dexterity, because our dex is 14 and it means +2. But most important part here is spellbook. So spellbook, here you press it and you will see your spells. For some classes you will have to prepare your spells, so you will get not only just known spells, but here like prepared spells, and you can click on them, and prepared spells means spells that you can use in a battle. If you don't have any prepared spells, you won't be able to use them. You got some common actions and you got some reactions. So reactions, you got opportunity attack. Whenever someone moving out of your reach, you will try to attack them. And on every reaction you got this checkbox. So if you don't want to use this reaction, and it will be over here, so you see your reactions, just uncheck it. When you don't want to use it, maybe you use some reactions that uses spell slot. And just in the moment I will explain magic. So you're in a situation when you think that it's not worth it. So just uncheck this reaction and you won't be able to use it. But when it's checked, it will be always triggered. So if you want not to trigger on every enemy, you just click here, and every time someone moving out of your reach, it will be asked, do you want to attack him? And you press, yeah, I want, then you attack him. Or you press, no, I don't want to react right now, because reaction will lose your like. So, next stuff. What is this game all about? This is like our command card where you can use any ability. So there's range and melee weapon. You can press use melee weapon and use melee weapon set. It will equip your melee weapons. Or you can use this dagger, press on dagger and attack. You can attack basically anything, so you can do it with pressing Ctrl, so hold Ctrl and attack something and it's attacked. Just like that. And I guess it's time to talk about spells finally, about this card. Let's talk about card first. You can remove hotbar lock and increase rows with this plus and minus. Actually, if you're playing some easy class like fighter, I recommend to stick with 2 rows. When you're playing caster classes, 3 rows is nice. It takes some part of the screen, but it's useful. When you unlock it, you can cover this stuff. So if you got a lot of items, for example, you can just drag them over here. If you're using your keychain a lot, maybe, then just drop it over here. And this customization takes some time, but it will give you like better experience in the game, in my opinion. So for example, there's some skills like jump, shove, throw and hide that got assigned keys to them. I guess you can assign keys to other stuff, but it's just too much time, why to bother? So this stuff can go to the bottom, because you can just use ZXCV to use this stuff. So just press Z and jump, C and hide. So use hotkeys, and every time you press spacebar, you just jump to your character, so it's easy. And on top bar, just use some stuff that you won't be able to use otherwise. So it could be like stuff like help when you want to help downed party member, improvised weapon, or dip. So dip is useful if you want to dip your weapon into something. So for example, this like fire, and I recommend to stick with like this amount of rows. Most of the time you will get main weapon attack, you will get additional weapon like proficiency attacks. So if you're proficient with weapon, you will get different interesting attacks. For example, piercing strike. So in this row you can put melee weapon, in this row you can put range weapons. And then your magic stuff. So magic stuff, again, you got magic, you got cantrips. Let's stick with cantrips first. So cantrips is basically your magic that doesn't require you to use any spell slots. So you can just go and cast this Eldritch Blast, main warlock spell. as much as you wish. So just go and cast it, just like that. But, for example, if you cast in something like Armor of Agathos, you see it requires level 1 Warlock spell slot. So, what does it mean? Here you see your spell slots. On level 1 you got only one spell slot as Warlock. It means you can use only one spell per short rest. So, we pick Armor of Agathos, we cast it on ourselves, it gives us 5 temporary hit points, but we lost our spell slot, and as you can see, Hex is grayed out, so we can't use it right now. But as Warlock you can use Short Rest. Here's Short Rest, so you just click on the camp, and you can use your Short Rest. 2 times per day you will regain hit points and regain spell slots if you play Warlock. If you play in Mage classes, you will regain spell slots most of the time in the Long Rest. But Long Rest will require you camp supplies. So gather some food, gather some fish, because if you don't have these camp supplies, you won't be able to regain all your spell slot. So that's basically how magic works. What is different magic? You got magics that last some turns. So for example, you see it's last 10 turns, Minor Illusion, so we cast it. And as you can see, we got this Minor Illusion of a cat. It will distract enemies, but it lasts 10 turns. 1 turn in this game is 6 seconds, so it means it will last 60 seconds, or just 10 turns in turn-based mode. You can enter turn-based mode whenever you like, just press over here, and you will play in turn-based mode, so you will get this 9 meter move range. If you play in basic race, you need to press end turn, everyone over here doing their turns, and then you're doing your turns. As you can see, there's no one, no enemies, and it's stated as environment making its turns. So what does it mean? We leave turn-based mode right now. It means like maybe you got some crates that made from wood and they stand nearby this fire. They won't be destroyed instantly. They will be destroyed in few turns, for example. That means like environment doing its turns too. So another part is concentration. So concentration means you can concentrate on only one spell at a time, and while your concentration is active, spell will be like have its impact. For example, Hex will do additional damage when you're damaging someone, but only when you keep your concentration. Concentration will be lost if you attacked or take damage. So for example, you just run away. Let's just run over here. You concentrating on your Hex and you somehow jump. And you will just see when you're doing action that you will lose 1 HP. So let's jump. We lose 1 HP. And if we concentrating on spell right now, we will be forced with saving throw. And if we lose the saving throw, we lose our concentration. Saving throw will be with Constitution. So higher your Constitution, the better chances for you to keep your concentration. So for this part, I recommend to keep cantrips on the left to easy access. They will be kinda in the middle of the screen. And then go with spells like level 1 spells, level 2 spells, level 3 spells, and at the bottom like defensive spells. So on the top spells that you will use a lot, on the bottom spells that you won't use a lot. So this will be used 1 time per short rest, so I mean 1 time per long rest, so why not to put it on the bottom, because we won't use this a lot. Additionally, you can check any stuff that you have here, so Warlock spells, common actions like moving and other stuff, and if you're like really watching carefully, if we go to spellbook and common actions, there's Toggle not non-lethal attacks, so there's no action right now on this table, so we need to actually equip it. If you want not to kill someone, just knock them unconscious, then just use this stuff. And you can get your items, you can use your items. So if you click over here on item, you will use it with left click. But if you open your inventory and then right click on your item, then you can use. You can drink it, you can split it in 2 parts, for example, just split it and you got 2 item potions, and you can hover over here and there's again 2 potions in 1 slot, so you can split them and you can of course throw them or examine. If you don't know what is it, you can examine, check this potion. So throwing is actually fun stuff. You can throw whatever you like. You will see this area of impact, and everyone in this area will be healed when you throw it. So just funny if you want to go and heal your teammates. So minimap you can be opened with M button. You will see everything over here, just awesome. And here you will see your waypoints. When you open your weapons, when you find them in the game, you just can click them and teleport instantly to them. On minimap you can scroll to just go in and out, zoom in, zoom out. And I guess it's time to go and see how battle goes, how to play this game finally. So, fight starts. Everyone rolled their initiative. Initiative means who will attack and move first. You see your interface. On top, you see turn order. If characters is nearby and got shared initiative, you can pick whoever you like and go and attack first with any of those. But most of the time it will be one by one. So in your turn you got your actions and bonus actions. In basic you can use only one action per turn. So this means if you pick your action, this is what you can do once per turn. If you try to dash, for example, right now we can see how much distance we can travel. So for this imp we need 15 meters. And you see with the red that we can't actually travel these meters. We can travel only 9 meters. So if we want to come to him, we need to use dash. It will double our movement speed. It means we can travel for 18 meters and we definitely will be able to travel to him. But we won't be able to attack, because attack is action 2. And you see it over here. So you see this is action. But for example, Hex, our spell that using spell slot, is bonus action, so we can use it. We can use bonus action in advance of action or after action, whatever you like, whatever you think is more impactful. For example, Hex will inflict more damage when we attack someone, so why not to use Hex as our first action? So with our bonus action, we just use Hex, we pick whatever Hex we like, and it will inflict disadvantage on checks. So what is disadvantage? Disadvantage means you roll 2 dice and you use lower dice on strange checks. So what is strange checks? Again, it's ability checks. So for example, someone going on ice. When you're going on ice, it will be your acrobatics. It will be dexterity saving throw. So if you're using like icy surface, maybe your icy mage, then just go and use Hex dexterity with your warlock. This will inflict really troubles to enemies that want to pass on ice. If you're using some spells that require like wisdom saving throws, then just use this. So it will make harder for enemies to succeed these checks. Then when you picked your skill, you just hover mouse on wherever enemy you want to attack with this skill. And you will get percentages of your succeed attack. So we got 100%. This means enemy can't actually negotiate this spell. So we go and hex him. And then we're trying to attack. If we're attacking with our weapon, it will be 90%. So it's calculated for you. But anyway, you will roll D20. You can press right click on enemy and you can examine him. So you see this imp, and you see conditions. He hexed, he got no resistances, he got some features like dark vision, he got armor class of 7. This means you will roll against his armor class. But we will roll our Eldritch Blast. So we use our spell, Eldritch Blast. Sorry, it's not spell, it's cantrip. Yeah, and so cantrips is spells that you can use how much times you like. So Eldritch Blast will hit 95% of the time. Let's use it. And we inflicted 3 plus 4 damage. It's enough to kill this imp. And we can use combat lock in the right corner. We can extend it to check what's happened. So let me just explain what just happened, what game does for you. We casted Hex Wisdom on Imp. Imp received this condition, then we cast Eldritch Blast on Imp, and Imp was hit by Eldritch Blast for 4 damage. So we using our attack roll, and we rolled 9. We got proficiency. it will increase with your levels. Proficiency increased with levels, yeah. And you can see it character card, I guess. Yeah, proficiency bonus +2. So proficiency bonus adds +2 to ability checks, saving throws, and added to attack rolls with weapons that you're proficient with. So you can basically use any weapon you like, of course, but you won't have this +2 when you're using these weapons. So it's better to get proficiency weapons, of course, when you, wear proficiency weapons. So we got proficiency, we got charisma modifier. Yeah, it uses with Eldritch Blast. We add our modifier from our main casting ability. So our main casting ability as Warlock is charisma, that's why we add +2 to charisma. So in total, attack roll got 14 points, and Imp's armor class is 7. That just means that we succeeded our attack. Then we roll our damage roll, and our damage roll is 1d10. So 1d10 means we roll dice that is from 1 to 10, and do damage in between. So it's totally possible to just roll and inflict 1 damage with Eldritch Blast, even if we hit your enemy. And then we roll additional 1d6, because we hit this imp, we roll additional 1d6 for 3 damage. And just like this, subscribe killed imp. Just like this. So we can close our combat log. We can move if you want to move. So we can change our position, stay on different stuff, move with our other characters, with our party, wait for enemy turns, and now we moving again. So cool part that you need to know. You already know what is disadvantage when you're rolling and picking lower dice. But there's also advantage. So advantage means that you will attack enemy and you will get 2 rolls, and higher roll will be taken into account. To get advantage, you can be hidden from enemies or staying on high ground. Same goes when you're attacking from low ground to high ground. For example, I try to hide. I end my turn, let's wait for enemies, and we failed our hide check, but if we get like attack from the hidden spot, then we get advantage. So in a fight, just don't forget that you can shove enemies, use your actions. For example, you can first of all shove your enemy, you succeed your athletics check, then you can move, you can attack, you can not attack. Don't forget to use your actions. You can throw anyone, so we can throw this imp over here, just like that. It's so funny. If you're strong enough, you can throw your party members, most of time dwarves, and just like that, combat goes. So when controlling your party, you can press G button, and this will give you ability to control them separately. Just click on their portraits. You can walk with them, you can do whatever you like, in wherever places you like, and just like that, they won't follow you. This can be used to ambush enemies from different sides, so you see like enemies over there, and you go with one party member from the left side, with one from the right side, from the stealth, for example. And about high ground advantage, so as you can see, we're right now on the high ground, we try to hit our enemy, and we got 60% to hit him. That's because we got high ground advantage, and you will see it on the top. So you see, we got high ground advantage with 60% of hit chance. But if we on evens surface, then it's only 50% chance. And when you're using your range magic, if you're nearby of enemy, then you get disadvantage because target is too close. So keep in mind this when you're building your characters, when you're picking your skills. Maybe you need some melee skills too. And if you're on low ground, you again got a little bit disadvantage. But high ground, low ground just increase chance. So it's not complete disadvantage, it's just -1 or +1 to attack. So what else you need to know when you're playing this game? Don't forget that when you go to your character sheet, you can have alchemy and you can make different stuff. So just go and find some ashes of fire, go find some salt, and you can make alchemist fire, so you can craft items. And when you get enough XP, you can level up. Just press on this arrow, and depending on your class, you will get different futures, different stuff when you level up. Additionally, don't forget, in this game you can have multi-class. So when you're multi-classing, this means you will get your character of level 2 with different levels in different classes. Actually, I don't recommend to go and use different classes when you first playing this game, because you can mess up and make a really weird and weak character. For example, if you start and go into Barbarian, into Bard, Cleric, whatever you like, you will get a really weak Warlock. And when you level up your Warlock, you will get additional spells. So, for example, you get Burning Hands, and we can get additional Eldritch Invocations. And when you leveled up even more, to, for example, level 3, you will get even more spells. But now you will get spells from level 2. This is more powerful spells. That's why you want to, most of the time, at least get some levels in your main class. So, important investigation parts. When you somewhere on the map, when you're investigating, you can actually do kind of whatever you like. So you can just pick up this wooden barrel if you want. You can use it somewhere, you can store it, you can move it with just pressing left click and hovering it. It's kind of throw action. You can open it and check whatever inside, or you can open it and place whatever you want inside. So you can pick this barrel and use it as your like mini chest. Or you can throw it and it will be destroyed and everything inside will be inside. So while this looks like not really important, actually it's interesting. So you can see like steel chests, and possibly steel chests will be super strong. But maybe you can destroy them with some magic. But if you see wooden chests, you don't need a lockpick to open it. You can just go and attack it and do enough damage and destroy any wooden object. So when you're interacting with anyone, for example, you see someone, you can come and talk with them, or you can see and decide, oh my god, this dude is not really welcoming. Just analyze everything. You see everyone is dead over here, so I guess she killed everyone anyway. So let's just go and cast Fireball. Yeah. We don't want to talk with this dude. And every decision you will make will affect this game. So, for example, we never will learn her story because she is like become kinda ash. So this is waypoints, as I told you. You just interact with them and you will unlock this waypoint. You can press on the map, you can press on the waypoint and teleport over here. So just M, teleport, done. Just like that. Don't forget there's different surfaces. For example, blood is kinda same as water. You can use cold magic and this will freeze the blood. As you can see, blood became ice. And now you can go and fall prone on the ice if you walk over here. But yeah, we just lost our saving throw, and after that blood became water. So just like that. So just think what you will do in these circumstances as your character and interact with everything like you would do, and you will have a lot of fun in this game. But last but not least, how you will interact in villages. So, how you can interact with different people you will meet, or different creatures, better. So, for example, you can just speak with everyone, but most important part, you can pickpocket them if you know how to do it. Remember, if something in red, then it means it's not like good action, it's a crime. So if I will try to go and pickpocket this vases belongs to this little dude, and I guess I will go to the jail. But that's completely different story. So I don't have pickpocketing ability, but if you're playing rogue or you're playing some background with pickpocketing chief, you will be able to try and pickpocket anyone. So for now, we can talk with this dude, and there's nice abilities on the left bottom side, so don't miss them. You can go and check dialogue history if you forget how this dialogue went, but most importantly you can attack. So you think, oh no, I don't like you bro, you just go and attack him, or you can trade. And basically you can trade with kinda anyone. This guy is a trader, so you can just go and trade with him. So he got like different stuff and different prices. So how much gold we got? We got 0 gold. So we can't actually buy right now anything from him because we got no gold. Oh no, sorry, we got gold. We got 4 gold right now, so we can't be able to buy pitcher of beer. But we want this pitcher of beer. Yeah, why not to get some beer? Oh, this awesome pizza. Oh yeah, let's get pizza. So pizza is 26 gold. We don't have this 26 gold. We can try to sell him some stuff. For example, we don't want to sell this scroll of revivify because it's 59 gold. And this is just 3 gold, this is just 1 gold, this is just 6 gold. But we can toggle this stuff and we can try and barter with him. So we can add all our gold, we can add our healing potion. For example, we don't need this shovel and we don't need this water. And we got this like 14 gold. But pizza is 26. And depending on how trader is pleased with our offer and our relationship with this trader, trade will go on or won't. So we try. All our value for our things is 14 gold, for his is 26. So let's try to barter. Now he refused our offer. So you can play with it, have fun, and don't forget, in role-playing game you can do whatever you like. So I guess that's more than enough, so you go and have nice time in Baldur's Gate 3. I hope this helped you noobs, and if you need some good guides on characters, if I already made them, they are already in the pinned comment and in the description. And you can watch some of my other cool content on the screen right now. See you in the kingdom, guys!